What's up everybody, this is Klrx, and today we'll be taking a look at the Assassin class in Forge. Forge is an MMO style shooter by Dark Veil Games, and its Assassin class is your typical hit and run high damage dagger wielding class. So if you're familiar with the Rogue from World of Warcraft or with the Thief from Guild Wars 2, you'll probably feel at home playing the Assassin in Forge. Hopefully this guide also helps prevent unnecessary brain damage. Alright, so first off we're going to take a quick look at some of the Assassin's abilities, and then we'll move on to using them in practical situations. The first ability is Strike, which is the Assassin's basic attack, and it gives you 15 energy on a successful hit. It also does bonus damage if you hit your enemies from the side or from behind, but most of the time you'll be using this ability for its energy gain and not for its actual damage. The second ability is Puncture. This ability is the Assassin's primary source of damage, especially when combined with Pantera's Kiss, which I'll explain a little bit more later on. But Puncture can be stacked multiple times, and technically there's not a cap on the number of stacks you can have, but because of its energy cost and because each stack only lasts for 5 seconds, there's no way you're going to be able to get more than 5 stacks. You can see the number of Puncture stacks on your enemy by looking at the little icon next to their name. In most combat situations, you'll probably be doing around 2 or 3 stacks. 2 is pretty common and easy to do, but 3 is pretty difficult, even though it does give you a nice increase in damage. Also, Puncture does not reward you for hitting enemies from the side or from behind, so keep that in mind. Positioning doesn't really matter with this skill. The third ability is Pantera's Kiss. Now, at first this ability seems to be the weakest ability that the Assassin has, but in actuality it's probably the strongest. There are 3 reasons for this. First, Pantera's Kiss does additional damage for each stack of Puncture on the enemy. So as you can see here, with 3 Puncture stacks, which like I said is probably the most you'll get in actual combat, Pantera's Kiss does around 200 damage or so. The second reason this ability is so strong is because it also does additional damage from behind. So with these 3 Puncture stacks, hitting Pantera's Kiss from behind does around 250 damage. However, the true power of this ability comes from the combination of these techniques along with stealth. For each stack of Puncture on your target, your first attack from stealth will do 10% more damage. So check this out. First, get 3 stacks of Puncture on the target. Go into stealth, get behind the enemy, and use Pantera's Kiss. Look at that damage. That's some huge spike potential right there. It's pretty difficult to pull off, but good assassins can do it pretty frequently. The fourth ability is Shadow Leap. This ability is pretty straightforward, so I won't say too much about it, but it moves you behind your target, sort of like the WoW equivalent. It also works through walls if you're close enough. So this ability is pretty useful for ganking an opponent, but it's also pretty useful for getting away because you can use this on allies, so keep that in mind. Sometimes I like to save this ability just so I can get away. The fifth ability is Disorienting Strike. This ability is the Assassin's Stun, and it's primarily what allows you to get 3 Puncture stacks off on your opponent. In addition to being a stun though, it also causes your opponent's next attack to miss, which is something that you should keep in mind when you're fighting against an assassin. After you're stunned, instead of using an important attack, use one of your basic attacks just to get rid of that miss, and that way you don't waste one of your important abilities. The sixth ability is Shadow Shift. This ability pulls your enemy into the shadow world where they're crippled, and the more Puncture stacks you have on your target before you shift them, the more slowly they move while they're in the shadow world. However, while you are here, you can't use Stealth or Shadow Leap because both of those abilities use the shadow world as a part of how they work. Shadow Shift can be used offensively to pick out the high priority target like shamans, which are the healers, but it can also be used defensively. Just use it on an unsuspecting opponent and then run away, don't even fight. That's a good way to get away from bad situations. The seventh ability is Stealth, which we've already talked about while discussing Pantera's Kiss, so I'm not going to go into too much details, but it's pretty similar to your standard MMO stealth. However, you can still be attacked while in stealth, and if you're close to an enemy, they might be able to see your shimmer, sort of like the old school Halo camouflage effect. So even in stealth, your positioning is pretty important. Damage will reveal you, so don't stand in an enemy's line of fire. AoE will pick you off if you're not careful. Also, attacks from stealth will only reveal you if you successfully hit an enemy, so you don't have to worry too much about missing an attack in stealth and ruining everything. Stealth currently has no resource cost, so make sure to use it pretty much any time it's up. You can basically be perma-stealth, but don't forget you can still be attacked, so keep that in mind. The final ability for the assassin is Smoke Cloud. This ability blocks enemy projectiles, but it also blocks allied healing, so be careful when you use it. Some people told me that it also blocks melee or traps in the first second you use Smoke Cloud, but when I was testing it, I wasn't able to confirm that. It never happened for me, so I don't know. That might be something you can test out yourself. But it is very useful for getting away from Pathfinders or Pyromancers. Just pop that and run behind it. You can also sort of cover your teammates by dropping a Smoke Cloud and blocking enemy projectiles. Alright, so here's some raw assassin gameplay for you guys to see me putting a lot of these techniques and information about the skills in practice. It's on the map Capital Market, and of course I'm playing assassin. Actually, I haven't played assassin in a long time, so this could be pretty bad. But got stunned by this assassin, used a basic attack to waste that miss, and then stunned him with my disorienting strike. Then I stealth to get away after putting puncture, and then I Pantera's Kiss him. And he goes into stealth, but since he already has puncture and Pantera's Kiss, he gets big damage, and he's pretty low. Not sure if I'm going to be able to finish him off, though. He stuns me again with a disorienting strike. Using my basic attacks to try to waste that miss. Hit him. Someone else stunned him, I think. And then I shadow shift him to finish him off, which I probably didn't need to shadow shift him there because my teammates could have finished him off, and that's one thing that's really frustrating with new assassins. They're always in for the kill steals, so they shadow shift people that are low just so that they can have the kill, and that's not very useful to anyone. So grabbing the health shrine, I'm at pretty low health, so I'm going to play it pretty safe. I'm really trying to do hit and run and finish off people that are low, 20% or so, or 25, something like that. That one's pretty low, but teammate's going to finish it off, so don't need to worry about that. This is King of the Hill, so we're trying to capture and hold these towers, which the enemy has control of right now. Trying to get heals from this shaman, but I think he's actually, this may be his first game, so he doesn't quite know what all his abilities are, so I just have to make do. Going to stealth, but got revealed by an arrow that tapped me. I was waiting for those heals, but never came. Stunned that guy with disorienting strike. Teammates beating on him, so I think it's safe to engage. I used stealth there just so that I could have a little bleeding and that warden would stop focusing on me. Also getting pounded by Pathfinders over there. Gotta be really careful for that poison arrow and also for the Pyromancer's Engulf, which does a burning and cripple, because you can't go into stealth, so you gotta get out of damage for a little while. I meant to shift to the enemy, but it looks like the Pathfinder shifted at that same moment. But he's finished off pretty easily. Waiting for this health shrine, but pretty much everyone on our team is low health, not really getting the heals from the shaman, so it's not working too well. Again, notice that I'm pretty much always in stealth, since it has no resource cost. Shadow shifted him to prevent him from finishing off my assassin teammate who was really low. That was could be considered a kill steal there, but I think I saved him and it was worth it. Actually, I don't know if I saved him. He may have still died. I'll have to look under the capturing this tower real quick since it changed or reset, whatever. 9 minutes left. I'm actually post-commentating this, by the way, but it's a lot easier for me to concentrate when I'm not commentating, because, I don't know, I guess part of my brain shuts down. Gotta try it sometime. Playing games and talking is a lot harder than you think. At least for me, Trying to stay safe from that pyro, because if they engulf me, I'm screwed, because pyro has a lot of CC and a lot of a good pyro anyways can lock down an assassin with the molten armor, the bolas, the flame walls. It's just not pretty. Still looking around for some low health enemies. I guess the Pyromancer's gonna work though, because he wasn't focusing on me, so I could get a few hits in at least. And he has molten armor, so I'm trying not to hit him because that does some pretty big damage. And anytime you see an enemy pyro with molten armor, just get away as fast as you can, especially if you have teammates nearby, because sometimes they don't know. They spam arrows or keep attacking that enemy, and that just melts your health down so freaking quick. It's not even funny. Waiting for those heals. Heals don't come. Teammate got the shrine. Oh, it looks like we did get some heals. Man, I love you. Hopefully you learn this game, because it is quite fun. your first game or first day can be pretty difficult in Forge, so I will be looking to shadow shift this Pyro. I knew he had Pyro armor or molten armor on, but it was almost done, so I just stunned him and put some bleed stacks on him. He bled out. And I think a Pathfinder's following me here. That's why I went this way and hid behind the pillar and went into stealth. Spamming his arrows. Chase him down. I'm actually following him because I want a shrine back here, but since he's at 90% health, I'm pretty sure he's the one that's going to get the shrine. And no lag spike. Not sure what happened there. Come on. There we go. That was weird. I normally don't get lag spikes. At least not on this map. Jungle map can give me some pretty bad lag occasionally. But I think that's for everyone. Get some ping and lag spikes there. And it looks like the Pathfinder came up here and he's gonna spam arrows down. But I will not let him do that. I will not. Except for I can't figure out how to get up there. Stun. Let's see if I can get some punctures. I know he's gonna drop his trap. They always do right after stun. Which I didn't really need to block there because disorienting strike makes his next attack miss, including traps. But forget him. Let's finish off this Warden. Shadow shifted him. He's low. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him. Oh, he stunned me. That was a good stun on his part. The health shrine's right there. And I Shadow Leap to him and finish him off. I did the smoke cloud right there to get away from the Pathfinder's arrows. I heard him drop traps, so I'm going to turn around and go the other way. I could walk over it with block, but since he's standing right there, actually I think he went to stealth standing right there. It's not really worth it. The enemy still has the towers though. We're gonna lose this if we don't cap the towers. Yeah. Looks like the tower's about to switch. Whenever it flashes, that means it's gonna switch to the next location. Stun this Warden. Help out the teammates. We got enough teammates here to finish him off pretty quick. Nice. Let's grab this tower. The score's actually really close for a King of the Hill match. 336 versus 550. Getting some heals and bubble. A lot of shamans don't know that you can't heal while inside the bubble. All the healing goes to the bubble's health, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. That's why you typically only use the bubble when everyone's close to full health. Could have stunned this. Nope, never mind. Forgot about that Warden. But I heard him. I don't know. Oh well. Shadow shift this Pathfinder. Should have blocked the trap. Every time you do shadow shift a Pathfinder, they're gonna drop a trap. So you could block, anticipate that, and block, and then waste the trap. I am Poison Arrow though, and there's two ranged people here, both Pathfinders. So I'm trying to create some time and distance so I can get this stuff, which I did. Capping the tower now. We're about to pull it. Well, actually, we just pulled ahead in King of the Hill score. Totally stealing this kill, this assassin, whatever. Alright, we got the tower. This could be game here. They got the Warden, so I'm not going to worry about that. Shadow Leap over here, get the Shaman. Got a friendly assassin. We'll bang this guy pretty hard. Yeah, he's down. Gotta be really careful here though, because their spawn's just up that little alleyway. Get this guy, Pathfinder, going down. Come on. Yeah. Need some heals. Boss man, I love you, bro. Tower is moving again. Need to grab this health first though. Pretty low. Get 250 health from the shrines, by the way. I think certain skills may actually affect the amount of healing you get though. Capping this tower. This is going to be game here in a few minutes. Probably actually pretty quick. Oh, he got the animation bug. He was using spin to win, but that looked like it was funny. Finish this Pathfinder? No, maybe not. Oh, and that's game. 8 kills, no deaths, 7 assists. We won King of the Hill match. So yeah, that's some assassin gameplay. I did not use Pantera's Curse as often as I could have or should have, but I was a low mana pretty much throughout, didn't have many heals, so yeah. But hopefully you guys saw a little bit how to play assassin, and hopefully this helped you out. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Liberis out.